Hello. Hi everyone, hope you're alright. Sorry, I just caught out on the hop there. Thanks for joining us on the live for those that are in. I know it's been a while. Glad to be back, to be honest. I think it's been over a month, isn't it? With all my van problems and then trying to go and see my dad as well. It's just a bit too much to get the lives in. So I'm going to start this year and hopefully just do it every Sunday. That's what my aim is anyway. So let's get some music on. There we are, all set. Right, hopefully you can all hear me. I'm a bit out of touch now, I've been doing this a while, but I can see all the levels are there. Just let me know if the music's a bit too loud. I can turn that down. Wrong fader button. So yeah, it's the normal talk this time of year is the weather, isn't it? That's what I thought I'd do live about, basically, is with this cold spell, especially this week and over this weekend. It's really cold. I mean, it was cold last week for parts of it anyway. Worked Friday. We had some issues. I was going to work Saturday, but we didn't because of the weather. And now we've got this problem for the rest of the week, which we all have basically, but I think some of us got it worse than others. So I'll just go into the chat. Whoa. What's going on here? Whoa. I don't know what's going on here. Just let me play around with this. Prior prep and all that. I think we're there. Right, yeah. You alright, Marcus? Thanks for joining in, mate. Sorry, just get around everyone. You alright, Neil, as well? Hope you're well, mate, with everything that's been going on. Yeah, Christmas was good. Hope it was for you as well, mate. It's nice being with the family. Mad few days and then it's back to normal and trying to work. Yes, mate. It's all a learning curve again for me. Hi, Robbie. You alright, mate? Nice to see the town doing well as well, isn't it? It's a shame about today's game. I suppose if their game's been cancelled, you can guess what's going to probably be cancelled tomorrow. Window cleaning for everyone. But we'll see. But yeah, it's nice to be back. I hope everyone else has had a good Christmas as well and had some form of break. I would have took longer off, but like I say, the bank balance rules me out, and after being cleaned out because of my van problems, we only took Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day off. The rest of it tried working, and just kind of pot through, don't you? But at least I made a profit at the end of last month, so I should have some money to go towards paying my tax bill, at least the accountant's bill anyway. And hopefully this month I should get enough, and I'm praying the end of this month I'll be able to pay my tax bill and then start fresh. But we had some dramas. Now, Robbie, you're right, mate. It's not looking good this week on the weather. I was having a look on the Met Office, but like most things, what it forecasts and what happens are two different things. It's been surprisingly cold this week, yet I've been able to go out and work. I mean, the weather's been like 2 degrees, 1 degree, sometimes -1, but it feels like it's been like anywhere from -6 down to -10 at some points. But tomorrow I think it's a bit different, especially as this colder spell lasts longer. It sort of like gets worse, doesn't it, as it goes on. It's all right when it's a short couple of days, but when it goes on a bit, so far where we are, we haven't had ice on the ground, but I'm sure that's all going to change tonight. Hi, Outserve Window Cleaning Grass 511, is it? Have I said that right? Happy New Year to you as well, mate. You're saying you're back tomorrow. How did you find working in between Christmas and New Year? For me, it weren't too bad. I got the work done that was set on the days that I worked. It was just not pleasant because it was cold. We did one day, I think we had some rain, about 4 showers in one day. That was a bit iffy, but we managed to get it done. But I've got a funny feeling that this tomorrow and the rest of the week could be different. I'll be very surprised if I'm out working tomorrow, but I'll make that decision. I'm guessing I might be able to, but with what's forecast, I could be wrong. Hi Alan, evening mate. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, slightly late starts when it's cold. Usually fine. Yeah, it's me and my wife were talking about this, thinking definitely from experience previous times, rather than saying we won't work today, is just say, okay, worst case scenario, we'll aim to work at 10 o'clock, finish around 2 and try and get half a day's work done in that time period. And then the following day, do the other half of the day and kind of limp your way through the week like that, because some money is better than none. And it tends to be the warmest part of the day, I find, between 10 in the morning and 2. And then it gives you a bit of time in the morning, doesn't it, to slowly get yourself ready, I suppose, and thaw things out if any of your hoses are frozen, warm bath, that sort of thing. And then just go for it and kind of feel your way through the day, seeing what it's going to go like. It's Friday, that's when me, Matthew, I've been using my other son, David. He's been helping me because of the short daylight to make sure we get everything done in before it's dark. That's been a help. And he uses the X-Line 45 litre trolley. But we found on Friday, there's only 2 houses we cleaned with conservatories. But what we found is they were freezing up, the water on the glass. So while we're cleaning, it's kind of, after the top third of the window, it's freezing as you work your way down. And then by the time you get to clean the other bits where the ice is, you're using more water because you're trying to thaw that out. So it's costing you time and water basically to get it done. And it doesn't look right when you drive away and it's starting to refreeze. But it's because generally the conservatories aren't warm compared to the house, are they? And plus, the houses we were cleaning, they're a bit exposed. They're out in farm fields and that, so they're getting battered by the cold wind. And there was a canopy roof I was cleaning on Friday. I had to give up because the water was freezing as I was cleaning. The customer's fine about it, and luckily for me it wasn't that green. It's a regular, every other clean on this particular bungalow, we clean the canopy roof. It's mainly just to keep the moss off it because it comes down off the roof of their property, but it does go slightly green, so obviously that hasn't happened too much. So yeah, we got round that one. And this colder period lasting for days, you know, everywhere's going to get more solid, isn't it? I mean, bird baths are frozen solid. There was a customer we cleaned, her pond has hardly had any water in it for the year. It's filled up with rainwater, but that was all frozen solid. So yeah, funny old time of year. Luckily where I parked my van, it's sheltered round the side of my house, so I'll see how it goes in the morning. Because it's a new van, I can't put my radiator in there, oil radiator, because I haven't got the pole guides, roller guides on the floor. And I don't want to try and put a cable extension lead coming through the door and then close it, because it'll just ruin that. So I'll just see how it goes. Oh no, Marcus, you're just saying all your equipment is frozen solid right now as we speak, and mine is 3 in the morning. Probably just do some trad jobs and get some admin done. Yeah, you just got to try and muscle your way through a little bit to get something moving, I suppose, isn't it? It's better than nothing, that's for sure. And getting admin done is not a waste of time. At least you're still being productive, and it's giving you time to do the things you don't normally get time to do. Hi Kev, you all right, mate? Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for sending me out that gardener pad. That would definitely make life easier on my arms on the long conservatory roofs. So looking forward to that. Thank you for emailing me that and getting in touch. So yeah, the weather's not looking too good. I'll have a look. So I just thought I'd get this up now anyway. it's going to be different around the country. This is obviously the Met Office. I normally use the weather app off Apple. I find it a bit more accurate, really. And it's what it's saying here now is apparently it's -1, but feels like -4. And on Monday, (8 a.m), I'm guessing that feels like it's -5. Or that might not be the feels like. Yeah, it says -3. I know on the Apple thing it's going to be like -10. It's a bit different on here, isn't it? It's the problem with all these weather channels and weather apps. They're all different from each other, but like I say, I like to use the Apple one. That's definitely showing lower figures, but what caught my eye was this yellow warning, snow and ice. And then for my area, Whiz Beach, this area here is called the Wash. Just about here, so I'm just inside that yellow warning area. It does say the impact's low and the likelihood of impact's medium, but I'm sure as the week goes on that is going to change. And I think it's down as snow here for midnight for a bit. But if it's that cold, it's going to lay and stay, isn't it? And if we have a bit of rain or anything like that, that's all going to turn to a sheet of ice. No, I haven't had snow, Robbie. Thanks, Kev. Appreciate it. Just let me know how much it is and I'll send you the postage, mate. Yeah, Nellie's saying this time of year hot water system's really come to their own. That is something I wanted to have, or I've been wanting to have for about 8 years. I was hoping to get that in my van this year, but then I had my van problems, so I wiped that one out. And I'd love that, especially with the is it Frostat feature on it, where it blows hot air around your van, and as well as having the ability to have hot water. And no, I haven't seen or had any snow here at all. Have any of you lot got any snow? I'm sure it's on its way overnight. But what it be like in the morning? It's going to be a surprise, isn't it? But it's definitely cold outside. It's definitely time for your hat and your gloves. For me, it's buffalo season, so my buffalo jacket's definitely on. I've brought myself a nice waterproof jacket, Berghaus one, so it's proper waterproof rather than the 16 quid one I had off TikTok shop, because that was not waterproof. And that's an extra layer to put on top because they're Gore-Tex. It can cut out the wind anyway. But we'll see how we go. And tomorrow's going to be a tester. But the roads, I was looking around today when I was driving around, and my other son said it yesterday, aren't the roads a funny colour? So I don't know what you've noticed. They seem to me not white, but it's a greyer colour. And I just think with the wind, it's blown a lot of the surface dust and crap off the road. It's not like white, but like I say, the dike across the road for me, that is, had a layer of ice on it for the last like 4 days. And we haven't had any ice on the roads, but I have noticed on some of the customers we're cleaning, especially on decking or tarmacs where there's puddles, they're all frozen over. So it's definitely, when you're looking up at the windows, is look where your feet are going. Very easy to slip, isn't it, and jar your back or have an accident there. So it's going to have some water. So yeah, like everyone else, just wondering what on earth is going to happen tomorrow with the weather. But kind of just suck it up and see, isn't it? Go for it. The first test is the first couple of houses, and then if the water's starting to freeze up in my hoses as it's running across the ground, and the jets or the rinse bars are starting to freeze up, you're kind of like on a losing battle, really. That's where I might have to call it a day. But like I said, let's test it tomorrow anyway, find out how that goes. But then again, it might warm up as the day goes on, so you kind of play it by ear, don't you? But we'll see if the sun's out. Sun's been out last few days, even though it's been really cold. Hi, Mills Cleaning, you alright, mate? Kev saying, through traditional jobs, some admin bits for me too. I've been tallying up the purchases and can't believe how much more expensive it is to run a water-fed system compared to traditional work. Yeah. It's like when I first started out, one of the things Waterfed Pole was trying to help you sell it to your customers is obviously you can clean more in a day than when you're doing traditional, so you can do more jobs. But the equipment costs a hell of a lot of money, doesn't it? So it's like, should you be charging more money for Waterfed Pole than if you're doing traditional work? That was my first dilemma when I was first starting out. And you could probably argue, because the kit's more expensive, I should be charging more. But then in my head, the customer would be looking at it, if I told them the Waterfed Pole does this, and I'll be quicker, then the price is just the same, because all they'd be thinking is you can clean more in a day. But when you do look at the price of Waterfed Pole systems compared to your traditional systems, it kind of now makes the traditional look good, especially when those like of me as well, mainly Waterfed Pole, when it comes to doing traditional work, it takes so much longer to clean the windows, for me anyway, than if I was Waterfed Pole. So therefore a lot of people saying you should be charging more. So it's, in another way, sense, it's driving up the price for traditional cleaning, yet the costs of using your traditional kit is still low, so therefore that's got better margins. But for me, I just charge the same for a house, whether it's Waterfed Pole or traditional. And luckily I don't do a lot of traditional, it's just a couple of customers basically, and they've got their reasons as well, which I understand, and rather than lose them, I've said yes, and I just do the traditional bits on there. Another good thing actually this time of year is what we do when you're cleaning doors, because I'm sure everyone's going to be worried tomorrow, is also when you clean somewhere, is the water on the floor. If that freezes over and you've got elderly customers or someone with young kids, last thing you want is them coming out and slipping and having an accident. So what we tend to do when it is getting to that point, we'll just do all the front doors and back doors, or any doors, by hand, to try and avoid the water in them sort of areas. But it's definitely a concern, isn't it? It's something you think about, especially when you get on with your customers and you know them quite well. But yeah, don't get that problem with traditional, do you? Compared to Waterfed Pole. But yeah, it is crazy how much prices have gone up and everything as well. So yeah, your consumables with your Waterfed Pole is expensive, definitely. But it is funny how when you watch certain people and they're saying, like, you know, traditional, you should be charging more because it takes more time, but then you're thinking the equipment's not as much. So I don't know, everyone does things differently. I just say the price is the price. My kit is just a method of how I clean it, and obviously I prefer to do Waterfed Pole compared to traditional because it is easier and quicker, and yeah, not got that hazard of the ladders. Especially, it's another concern this time of year, isn't it? Is if you're on the ladders, is it safe? You might get a couple of windows where you can't because the decking's really slippery, that sort of thing. And it's easier said than done to do these risk assessments in your head when you're desperate for money. But you're best off being safe, because if you have to take more time off work because you're hurt, it's not worth it. Marcus just saying, I remember one day last year, even 2 guys I knew with hot water systems ended up going home at 10 because the hot water was freezing on the ground around the properties and the customers are going mad. Yeah. So, I mean, the hot water systems are great and I definitely love one. And you ain't got to worry about proofing your van for winter because it all happens automatically. But it just goes to show, even if you've got that type of investment, spent that type of money, you can still be caught with the same problem as those of us who haven't got a hot water system, because the water's going to freeze on the glass anyway when you disappear. And like I say, if it's on the floor and then freezes up, and like I said, if it's a young mum busy running out to the car and they slip on that, or some of your elderly customers, they're not too good, but they've got to come out of the house. It's a hard judgment call to think of, isn't it? And I know my wife will push me to keep going out because the bank's never that good, but sometimes I have to say no, it's not worth it because the hazards I'm causing. And it's not just that, is it? It's some houses you have, the water could be on a public road, so you've got to think of pedestrians as well, other members of the public. So it's just use common sense really and make that call. Nelly's saying, personally think the customers are paying for clean windows. How we choose to clean them shouldn't affect the price. Yeah, and that's basically my take on it. For me personally, it's a method of cleaning windows. The price is the same. Because otherwise you talk yourself out of being a water-fed pole and going to traditional, wouldn't you? They all have their pros and cons. There's loads of different ways to clean a window, isn't there? You just a combination of the whole lot on the first cleans, to be honest. I always put rock salt down this time of year under the windows and the doors I've cleaned. I have thought of that. But then I worry sometimes that if people are going in and out of the house doing stuff in the garden and coming in, they'll probably hate me, because you know what it's like when you've been walking where there's salt and the bottom of your footwear all gets that horrible black water, and then you're tramping that in the house. But at least it shows you are thinking, in my eyes as well, and you're trying to put the customer first. And you have a little bag of it in the van, like you say, you can just throw it down. It's a hard call, isn't it? But last thing I want is one of my customers injuring themselves, regardless of thinking there's a lawsuit or something like that. I just wouldn't want it to happen. But like I said, it's something we've got to think about. And I've got a gutter day planned, I think, with my wife. But like I said to her, we're going to have to hold it off, because when the gutters are frozen, it's just bloody pointless. Luckily, I think, because you're dealing with your regular customers, they kind of understand. And to be honest, I think a lot of them will be shocked you're still working in this weather. I had some Friday just saying they weren't expecting us round at all. And then Saturday, like I said, we were, but we told people we're not coming round. They were completely fine with that. It's just how it is this time of year, isn't it? So Brian saying, think it's quite simple. Don't know what it's regards to. Sorry, mate. Could you just expand? Because I go from comment to comment. Plus, there's like people used to say to me, if it's like -4, you probably shouldn't be going out anyway. Obviously, last week it was way over -4 in the old feels like, but the roads were dry, so there's no ice. But I do think as well, driving conditions, if it's, especially me, I've got my new van. What would I feel like if I went out and then had a prang in my new van? That would definitely not be worth it. Just try and make a bit of money, you know. Got to think it through sometimes. Sorry, Graham just come back. Yeah, quite simple in regards of if it freezes, bin the day. So you've got to make that assessment. You're right, mate. You should see some of the things I do, especially on here live as well. But yeah, as long as you've got something you can do instead, like catching up an admin. You might know some of the jobs you can do because they're sheltered and maybe all right, but if it's on a round, you might as well stick everything on that round and go out again. It's not like, hopefully this spell's not going to go on for 2 or 3 weeks, is it? Sometimes sit it out. It's just trying to get it right. It's like me, because I've had all my outgoings go and the van's cleaned me out. I said to my wife this will happen. We've got a few things that go wrong. I said to her, December won't make as much as we want to. Come January, we're going to have the cold weather, and then I won't have enough money to pay on my tax bill. But at least I can pay them in instalments. So as long as I've covered my accountant's bill, I haven't had the bill yet, but I'm sure I'll get it soon, because I think most people are going back to work today, aren't they? Because your big business is shut down over the Christmas period till about the 4th of Jan or the 6th. Because I had to get a bit on my electric reel. I had the hoist controller bit that just disintegrated, the buttons kept flying out. So I've been working for 2 days off my X-Line trolley, and my son's had the other one, and then Matthew's been using his hose from the tank. And we've managed to get through our work that way, thankfully, because there's just 3 of us. And but I knew if I ordered anything from X-Line, they're probably not going to be back in work till tomorrow, and I want it as soon as possible. So I got something off Amazon which is pretty much identical, half price. Fitted that yesterday, works. Excuse me. So at least I've got that sorted. You need a high purity salt that isn't mixed with sand. You only need a little bit, so I tend not to work on the windows if it's lower than 2 degrees. I like the rock salt. So in terms of like I said, you're carting all the mess in and out of the house. So it's one mixed with sand that probably does that. Right, so high purity salt, that's a good one. Doesn't do any harm to have a little bag anyway, just for your own house, does it? It's not going to go to waste. And like you say, just put a little bit down. Right, and that's your cut off, 2 degrees. Yeah, it's warmer. It's like I said, we'll get up tomorrow morning, make that decision, and if it's not good, we'll then wait till just before 10, see if it's improved and make a call there, isn't it? Either way, you can send your messages out to let your customers know. I'm sure they'd understand. And it's not nice in this weather. It doesn't matter what gloves you wear, and your fingertips are going to end up permanently cold, and so are your toes. Marcus and do both trad and waterfed pole. Decide which method depending on the job. If the customer doesn't like the chosen method, I advise them to find someone else. Yeah, that's a good point. It's just, for me, there's two. One of them's, it's a very small bungalow, and I only have to trad 2 front windows because there's a load of trees at the front, and when it's left wet, the amount of crap in the summer that comes off them trees gets stuck on the window. Whereas she just asked, can you do it traditional on there to try and make it last a bit better? So I just said yes. It's only 2 windows. But yeah, that is a very good point. Kev saying, I try not to write the day off if possible. Even a couple of jobs is good. If it's bitter and everything's frozen, then even tidying up the vehicle or sorting out your expenses is good. Yeah, it's like I said, when it's completely bad, you're not going to go out anyway. It's nice to have that time to get those sort of things on, especially this time of year when you are out at work and then you've got to fix something. You're doing it, you've been out working in the cold all day, and then you're doing it in the dark and the cold, holding the torch between your teeth and all that sort of thing, trying to get stuff. And nothing takes 5 minutes, does it? Ends up taking a lot longer. So yeah, there is always something to be on top of, even if it's just going around like stock taking, in effect, looking at your consumables and thinking, I need to order more of them. So rather than waiting for something to come through the post, it's in the shed ready to go. That sort of thing. Yeah, and you're right there, mate. You need to make hay when the sun shines and the temperatures are good. Basically, you've always got to work, haven't you? It's just when you can't work, you can't. So just get on with something else. Nelly's saying, waterfed pole the windows, add some screen wash to the trad bucket for the doors. Carry rock salt for the doorways if needed. Can't say we've stopped because of the freezing weather. I think when I first started, in the first year, after I'd done it for a year, so it must have been about 2019, I think it was. Or could it have been 2018? We had what was called Beast from the East, and that went on for about 2 or 3 weeks. But because I just started, I didn't have like lots of customers, so it was easy for me just to take time off and then catch up. But when every day's packed, you can't catch up. It's, for me, if I'm late, I'm late. The only good thing is if you're late after Christmas, I think some people don't mind because we've had the expensive Christmas, so it's kind of a gift there. But when the weather's good, you just got to try and keep on top of everything, ain't you? And like I said, I can't even put a oil radiator in my van at the moment because I used to put it in the van, pass the plug through the underfloor hose guide so it comes underneath, and then put that into an extension lead. Well, in fact, I had the extension lead in the van as well, and just the plug coming from that through me underfloor roller guides. Because I haven't got them, I don't really want to put it in and shut my doors because I'm just going to ruin the cable. But like I said, luckily for me, the way my van's parked, it's against the side of my house, so it's a bit sheltered from the wind. But there's other things, like I said in the morning, I've done before where, because I use the tubeless system from Exceed Innovations, if it freezes, sometimes it's just within the actual pole. So it's a small amount of hose that I can just put into a traditional bucket with warm water. And that's how we've done it sometimes to sort things out, or even through the day. But it's handy when I've been near home. It's when you're away from home because you don't have access to hot water. Or a thermos flask, but I need a few thermos. I'd rather have tea and drink it, to be honest, and do that at home. But other things we've done as well with the pole hose that's attached to my main hose, because I use the tubeless system. We've done the same thing, took all that off and put that in a warm bath just first thing in the morning. And we've managed to, sometimes doing these little things, you do get a day's work out of it. It just depends how the weather is during the day, but you're not going to know that until as the day goes on, really. But I suppose you just realise at some point it's not worth it. You make these calls, don't you? But like I said, for me, it's the bank balance always decides you're working or not. And the bank balance is telling me I need to work. So we're going to have a go tomorrow anyway, and just see how it goes. If it's pointless, it's pointless. But at least if you can get half a day done, I'd be happy. And then, like I said, you got through the week, at least if you got half a week's worth, it's better than nothing. But if it's really bad, no, you're best off staying indoors. And it's not fun being cold. At least with my new van, it's actually got air conditioning in it, whereas my old van didn't. But you've got to get the engine warm first, haven't you, at the end of the day. But it's been nice out working after that bit where I couldn't work. It's doing my nutting. And yeah, how'd everyone do on Christmas tips? We did all better this year than previous years. Although it was a bit slow coming through at the beginning. So I was really surprised. I did think this year, which I did say last year, would be tight because everything's costing more, isn't it? But there are some nice customers out there, some nice people. So fortunate. So I've got to split the Christmas tips up between me, my wife and my son, actually. More money going out. We've had about 6 tubs of chocolates this year as well. We've still got plenty of chocolates to go through. Long Live Freedom says, my advice would be save, save, save. Resist buying any luxuries. Everyone needs money as a security buffer, which is true. Because when I had my van problem, I'd started building up a buffer as well as trying to pay off and clear debt like credit cards and so on. And luckily that buffer come in handy to help me get through my van problems. And I had to use the money I saved for me tax as well, because I wanted to get my old system out of my old van into my new van, because everything was getting dark by 4 rather than trying to make do with trolleys and barrels. I was like, nah, just going to get it done. Luckily managed to. Nellie's just saying, yeah, how are you liking the new van compared to the old one? I like it. It is different though, because we seem to be able to fit more in the old van, which is a short wheeled base, and this is a long wheeled base. And I think because it's got twin doors, you've got a little door step on each side, so you lose a little bit of room there, whereas on my old van it was just one side door, so I could push everything right up against the panel on the other side of the van. But we can get everything in there just. But I do like it. It's a lot easier to drive because it's newer. But I do miss my old van. The roof's lower. I think the older ones, because they're more square inside, so it seems a bit taller as well. But yeah, it's good, and the air conditioning's good. It's got that Apple CarPlay, so it's nice to have a little screen and use that for me sat-naving. Yeah, I like it. But you seem to lose room in the front of the cab as well. There's more cubby holes in the old van to hide stuff, especially with like 3 of us in the van. It gets a bit tight because we all need, like this time of year, jackets, hats, gloves. You just find a way, don't you? But I'm glad I got it anyway. Marcus saying, has anyone had any Waterfed poles from CleanLink? I'm looking to replace a 40-foot pole. Got my eye on the CleanLink V2 Sentinel anti-spin pole. Looks good, very rigid and insulated bottom sections. No, I haven't used them at all. I have seen them about. Let's have a look. Spell that one. There's a mountain bike called Sentinel. I didn't type all what I wanted to. So this is a CleanLink website. Just press accept on there. So come up with V2. Pop up so annoying. Guess it's that one there. Doesn't say V2 though, but I guess it's something like this. More pop-ups. Yeah, can't say I've used CleanLink at all, but I know on the social media, aren't they, there a lot of people are buying their stuff using it. I think Smelt on his pressure washing side, they use a lot of CleanLink stuff to help with pressure washing as well as when they try to do a little bit of window cleaning. I don't think they've got any complaints. V2 is the new one pre-order. So I don't know their website very well, so I don't know my way around it. Have they got like a section 4 pre-order then, have they? There's the anti-spin. Might be worth having a look on YouTube really and seeing on there, Marcus, what people say. Excuse me. Sorry, Robbie's replied to you as well. I've got one from CleanLink. It's a good pole, use it every day, and I found his customer service is good. So that's good to know. It's always nice to have good customer service. Could be worth giving the ring, Marcus, and just get the spiel off them, really. Mill's saying, I've got a Vauxhall Vivaro, 2 sliding doors each side. I've managed to put things on the sliding doors. Got a vac attachments. Oh, nice one. You only learn these things, don't you, by trial and error, really. Hi Jamie, you alright mate? I have no idea if it'll work, but what about trying a powerful leaf blower to get the bulk of the water off the ground? Oh, like through the customer's doors and stuff. Could be worth a shout, not thought of it, and it wouldn't go to waste because it's something you're going to need in your garden with all the leaves. And probably come in handy maybe here and there in your work anyway. Has anyone tried that, have they? Out of interest. suppose if you want a powerful one as well, don't get an electric one, get a good petrol one. Kev saying, I've seen the Cling Link poles advertised Facebook a lot. I give the bloke credit, he's relentless. Very bullish with his claims of how good they are. Yeah, like I said, I've seen them advertised. I think Jim from PCS Window Cleaning Dirt Millionaire, is he using them, or no, he's pure heat poles, I think. And like I said, Smelt, I know on this channel, other pressure washers use them. So the V2 is a new one, pre-order. Nelly's saying, I was just looking at them before Christmas and do like the look and feel of a decent pole. I think the bottom two sections are insulated or hard. So under 40 foot, it'd just be the bottom section, and then if it's over 40 foot, it'd be the bottom two sections insulated. Robbie's saying, I got it last year before the cleaning show. I found it as good as gardener poles. God, when was that? How many months ago was that? How, like 8 months ago or something. So you've had some time using it as well, haven't you, Robbie, as well? It's not like you've just used it a month. And there's a 10% code off and you get a 2-year guarantee. Yeah, it'd be good to know, Marcus. That's the thing with poles, isn't it? Sometimes we just fancy a change. I like the Nano pole from X-Line. I've used that for donkey's years. But because it's high modulus, the sections do wear down fast and need replacing. If it wasn't for the facelift phantom clamps that I put on there, I'd be having to replace them a lot quicker than what I do. The phantom clamps just allow me to keep pushing it, but they get super thin, start to crack, and then I have to get a new one or a new section. So sometimes you do wonder if you get a different pole, will that change that? But I think whatever make a pole you get, if it's high mod, it's going to wear down a lot quicker. That's one of the cons, but the pros is obviously it being lightweight, whereas carbon fiber's going to last you a lot longer. It's kind of more squaddy proof, for want of a better word. So yeah, I take it there's more yellow bits around the country. Haven't Scotland had something like 5 centimetres of snow up in the hills and stuff? Or was it 50? No, I don't know. I'll have to have a look around, but like I say, this is the Met Office, but it's totally different when I look on Apple. The weather forecast. Let's see if I can find that. Even though I'm wearing glasses, I can't see it. So this is what it's like for me on the weather app, and if I look at Monday, you see it's got the snow symbol, and it's saying it's going to be 2 degrees down to -4, but when you click on the feels like, it's going to be -4 down to its lowest point during some part of the day in the 24 hours of -10. Tuesday feels like that is -3 to -10, but you've got rain. So if it is rain, but then maybe it's going to be ice then, isn't it? But if you get rid of the feels like, the actual will be, like I said, between 2 and -4, between 2 and -5 Tuesday. Wednesday looks like it's going to be warmer. but it feels like it's going to be -2 to -7. So goodness knows what's going to happen. Like I say on here, it's got the snow symbol, but the rest of it is just rain. And it's going to be better as the week goes on, but it feels like I bet it's still going to be in the minuses. So yeah, you do wonder what weather forecast to actually go off. And then like using the Apple one, because I find is it Dark Storm? I can't remember. There was an app where that was quite accurate, but I know the Apple weather app uses that technology. Is it Dark Storm? Something like Dark Sky? Something like that, I think it was. Mark is saying both Jim and the Uncleanables are promoting them on videos on YouTube. Yeah, I'd give them a ring and speak to them direct, mate, I would. Might give you more than 10% off as well. Play hardball. Kev saying you like the poles from Window Cleaning Warehouse. My old hybrid Phoenix pole is bulletproof, and the Phantom's good, and the pole's narrower than the others, which you like, and the clamps are ace. The clamps are absolutely brilliant, and like I say, they fit on me X-Line pole, on the carbon fibre one as well as the high mod as well, and they give me a lot longer life. And so yeah, they're absolutely really good clamps, worth the money. So I just seen Robbie's one. I bet he didn't look at the weather forecast before he went on an exercise. You'll be okay, which is true. You just went out there and sometimes you'd forget your kit or sleeping bag, and it's like, well, now what you can do about it now, suffer and learn. Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. I'd say it's the bank balance. But luckily with us, window cleaning, you can have that luxury of, sorry, I'm going in. I do find as well, a lot of customers will offer you a cup of tea in this weather as well. Not good when you're on water tablets. Hi Dawn, you're right. CleanLink just up the road from me have called in. He's a nice guy and the poles look good, although not owned one yet. Do check with them first to see what stock they have. Yeah, especially if there's a big push on them, expect they could sell out from here and there and be a bit of a delay till the next lot get delivered. I've been using the Gardner DuPont brush with 100-degree fan jets for about 3 or 4 months now. Still liking it. It's different, but I've still got my X-Line brushes. I'd definitely go to them for first cleans, that's for sure. But maintenance cleans, I do like the Gardner DuPont one. It's like 100 grams lighter on 50 in February, so that's my excuse to going over to that for now. I just got it to see what it's like, how long it lasts for, and how I get on with it basically. But it's been really good for really high windows, awkward windows, and monster conservatory roofs. But I do find sometimes the fan jet gets like slightly blocked here and there, but that's no different than the rinse bar getting blocked here and there. And it's not peeing water down on the ground as much because it's a fan jet. Obviously it drips off the windows, but it is minimising the drips off the windows, which could be a good thing for tomorrow. Marcus just saying, I always say to people, if you want a weather forecast, just ask a window cleaner. We'll look at the postman. They're always out, aren't they? But when their shorts go off and their trousers on, you know it's serious. Still a couple of postmen I see, they're in shorts, whatever. But then again, they run around, don't they? A few doors, jump in the van and off they go. But yeah, you've got to be wary where you put your feet. Like I say, it could be slippery and ice. At least all the dog shit's quite solid this time of year. Gates is another thing this time of year, with all the wood expanding and that, and having their weird ways of trying to open them. Nelly's to give the V-Jets on the edge brush. Highly recommend them. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying good things about that. Did wonder. Might do it later when I'm a bit more flush with money. Experiment about. Sometimes it's nice, isn't it, just to do something a bit different, just to change it. But I still like my X-line brush. But I have been enjoying using something different. What I do find with them jets though, they make a hell of a bloody racket. Can't hear what my son's saying to me sometimes because he doesn't talk very loud. Or some of my elderly customers because it's not very loud as well, and you've got the jets going. And they give it a funny look as well. But yeah, no, I've been liking it. Another thing as well, isn't it, this time of year, sometimes you have to put up your flow rate because the water sort of like thickens up a bit with the cold, if that makes sense. And you might find your flow's not as high as normal, so you just have to put it up a little bit. And sometimes working this weather as well anyway, your customers think you're some kind of hero because they're just surprised you're not out. I've never been turned away though by people because of the cold. I have here and there for the rain, but not because it's cold. I'm just hoping as well they feel more sorry for you because they realise you're skint, so you've got to work regardless. When my van was off the road, my daughter, youngest one, she works in the local takeaway. And sometimes when they're stuck for a delivery driver, they'll ask me and give me a bit of money for that and a free curry. But I've actually delivered to a few customers and they kind of look at you funny. So I felt like say to them, yep, this is so I can keep your price down. Put them on a guilt trip. Luckily it doesn't happen too often. Alan's just saying he's noticed a drop in production of the RO with the cold weather. Yeah, I'm just wondering if, like, say the water's a bit thicker, it's harder to go. Plus, obviously, the pipes are probably freezing in the ground and the water. So there's less... Can't find the right word. Like, there's more constriction, so the water pressure, I suppose, would go up, wouldn't it? But it's harder for it to flow through the pipes. I don't know. But it's definitely a worry this time of year in regards to your RO and your membrane. You don't want that cracking. Luckily mine's in the shed. It's been insulated in my shed and it's got me through some tough winters, so I know that's all okay. There's a worry about how dense. Yeah, cheers Alan. A bit like me. But yeah, you've got to look after that side of kit as well, haven't you? And then the last thing is you want your pumps to expand and they'll crack as well. I know, like Matt said, he uses hot water bottles and duvets and things like that because he can't park his van right close to his house for a heater. Kev's just saying to you, Nelly, really agree about the edge brushes, just find them a bit big and weighty for me because you got used to extreme brushes, yeah. Thing is, if you did try a different brush, it wouldn't go to waste, would it? Because you know you're round in your houses, so you know on certain houses a particular brush will be fine, and then on other ones where it don't, you'd use your other brush, mix and match it up a bit. Just for me, I'm getting old, an old fart, so I've got to look after my arms and shoulders. Start looking at houses, it's not a case of, yeah, I'll do that, it's more like, ooh, that's going to hurt. No, I don't want that one. I haven't seen any gritters out. So if they're not out, it's got to be a good sign. And then again, I'm in the countryside, so there's probably some roads down here that don't even get touched. Does anyone take a thermos flask for a cup of tea out of them? Might do that this week. Just have a little sip of a cup of tea here and there. Bit of morale or hot chocolate, that'd be showing off. I think leave the hot chocolate alone, I'm fat enough over Christmas. Got to try and lose some of that again. That's another reason why I've got to work. Oh, Alan, you're saying you haven't seen any gritters neither, and you're on the main bus route, so that would be a place that'd get gritted. I wonder if, to save money, they as well wait and see what the weather's doing compared to what it's forecast. Nelly's saying, Kev, any brush is heavy compared to the extremes. Yeah, it's always a bad time you see the gritters. You cringe as well when one's coming the other way, like, oh, slow down. Chucking that stuff out. Mind you, I'm that tight at the moment, I'll probably go out my brush and dustpan and take some home. So has anyone here got any snow at the moment, or snow forecast for your area overnight? I know for me it's just after midnight, it's meant to snow for about half hour or something. That's why I think tomorrow is just going to be feeling cold, but I'm sure I should be able to work, or at least get half a day done. I'm going to try and get the whole day done to see how it goes. Just don't want too many cold spells, do we? Or if we get one, just for a couple of days, something like that, and that's it, done. Oh, is that Ipswich snow on Wednesday, you're saying, Robbie? Excuse me. Yeah, I think as well, Robbie, isn't it? Because you're near that coast. Because when I lived in Felixstowe, that wind can come off their coast pretty cold. I was used to it then when I was living there. And I was younger. Loads of snow here in Bridlington. Tanks are full of ice and you've got the immersion heat on. To heat the water through the night. Wow. Like most of, isn't it? It's just a case of having a look outside in the morning with a cup of tea. Check where you put your feet first, you don't slip. Dawn's saying, yeah, snowed this afternoon, all white now, probably a freeze overnight in North Shropshire. Yeah, because I'm a bit more down south in the Fens. Sometimes we miss a lot of the really bad stuff, get away a bit more light than others. Jamie's saying there's snow where I'm located. You used your blower to clear it. That's where the idea of blowing the water comes from. If it can blow snow, it's got to blow water in it. It's not like it's a ton of water from cleaning the windows. And again, it shows you're trying, doesn't it? I think there must be a lot of people who've started out panicking this time of year with winter and thinking about things freezing in the van and all that. Alan's saying 35% chance now, so it's changed, yeah, just for 9 PM on your iPhone app, but nothing as of yet. Don't saying always need the money, but when it's like this, just stay put, don't want to risk the van, we'll pass soon. Yeah, and that's what I've said. I can't afford, after having to get a new van, to go and have a prank. I mean, I always push the envelope a bit, but you just got to make that risk assessment. And sometimes the first two cleans, you're like on the borderline no, and then the weather changes. And I think as well, you have to make up your mind, or I find quite early in the day. So I think in this cold weather, I've got to make up my mind by 10 is either go and do half a day or just don't. And then just turn around and look at the other things that need doing, make use of the daylight. in the cold though, to get what's needed done out the way. And I know you probably don't like doing it, but you can always work a Saturday to get a day back as well, and do that on the top for a couple of times. Just do what you got to do, because like I said, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's what's in the bank that counts, and get it in there. But we'll see how this year goes. I suppose another good time to sit down and work out a price rise. I'm going to be doing a price rise again in April. I've just got to figure that one out. I was speaking to the missus about it. I think we're just going to do a general £1 per customer, but I know some of your customers have got bigger houses, so maybe they should be £2. But then you worry that if you've got a house that's £58 and put up to 60 means you've lost them. That's quite a big chunk to get back off everyone else, isn't it? Unless it's one you don't like cleaning. But I know for me, if I just did the general one, I'd on average do about 400 cleans a month, so that's another £400 a month increase, and that's a good chunk towards paying finance on my van. So that's why I tell them it's going up, because I've had to get the new van and I've got to do what I've got to do. But that's my next worry. Well, it won't be a worry, just do it. But I think I'll just do a general increase of £1. I did £1 last year, and some of them went up to a £5 because they're that underpriced. That's what I said to my wife, we'll just live with what they are now and just do £1 a year. Because I mean, I think inflation for £1 is like 3p. So I feel if I did too much, it'd be taking the piss, or seen that way anyway. Mark is saying no snow yet in Hertfordshire, but it's coming for you on Tuesday night. It's coming across, isn't it? Dawn saying tank valve off, drainage system, RO is inside. At least I know when it improves I can go straight to work, because you haven't lost any equipment like you've done in the past. Yeah, that's a good point. Hey, you alright, Matt? Welcome, mate. What's the weather like where you are? Remember what it's like at school. It starts to snow and you're all excited, but by the time you get home, it's all gone. Or playtime, it's all gone. Hey up, Mark. You alright, mate? How you doing? Don't think you'll be doing some gutter clears this week, do you? With all the cold weather. You got any more lined up? Yeah, like I say, I suppose I'm not going to lose any sleep about it and look out the window. I'll just get up in the morning, pack my head up a bit earlier than normal, have a look, make a decision. If it's too bad, I'll hold off till about 10. Go and try and clean a couple, see how it goes, and make a decision up from there, I suppose. Matt's just saying where you are, it's cold but workable. As long as it's workable, that's good. Mark is saying if you listen carefully, you can hear all the new window cleaners who started in the tunnel saying fuck that and giving up for good. Yeah, when I first started round here, I noticed there's lots of window cleaners out, especially the ones who are obviously traditional, because they're going around in the car with the roofs and they've got the rags hanging out to dry. And there's one lad who's pushed Tesco's trolley with all his kit on, and you'd notice they'll always be out in the summer, but not this time of year in the weather. But they must have regular customers that are happy with that. So, but yeah, it's when it's hard, isn't it? It's a measure of who you are, why you keep going. Normally it's because the bank says you have to. Yeah, good to see you back on Facebook, YouTube as well, Matt. Get them videos out. Just do what you want to do. More for enjoyment. Don't feel under any pressure to put a video out. It takes up a lot of time, doesn't it? It's bad enough just dealing with your customers and to and from them and that. Oh, Mark, you're not back till Thursday anyway. More gut workers booked in. Wow. You've done well there getting all that work booked in, Mark. Nellie's just saying to Marcus, 35 plus years. Trick is not to look at the weather forecast here. Yeah, just pick your head out the window. And that's what me and my wife had said. Sometimes it looks miserable here, but where you're going to is not too bad. Or most of the time it's the other way around. I'm looking at my missus thinking, oh, it's weird. She's like, it's fine, get out there. And I come in. It's not good to have big ears this time of year neither. It's definitely good to have a nice hat. And in the evenings are going to be getting lighter, aren't they? So I think by early February, is it? It'll be getting dark by 5 p.m. So there's a plus side. It is getting better, and it won't take long to get there. "39 years on the glass." Wow. So that's a big advert, isn't it? That so I remember a guy when it was after a window cleaner. He used to be a window cleaner himself, but he did it to top up his shift work. And obviously he's an older guy there now, but he said to me, "You've got a job for life." That always stuck with me. Hi mate, we insulate the van, use a tropical fish tank heater set at 15 degrees, and it heats the whole van lovely and toasty. I have wondered if it's worth me some point getting like a plug on the inside of the van, the outside of the van having one of them like caravan type connections, so that it's easy for me to then just attach from the outside of my house. I'd need an extension lead still and get it to plug into my van that way for a heater or something like that. But this will be a test for me anyway, but I'm sure I'll be alright. He says. Fingers crossed. Trying to find that part on Amazon. It's my wife's birthday tomorrow as well, so luckily her presents arrived today through Amazon. I've got to wrap them up after this. So I've got to sign into something. It's going to ask me loads of questions. So I just got to look at a code. Ooh. I know this authentication stuff's probably good, but it can be a pain in the bum sometimes. Right, got it. Let me just see if I can find what I ordered the other day. Yeah, this is what I ordered off Amazon, and obviously got it quite quick. And it looks identical to the one X-Line sells, except instead of saying up and down, it has 2 arrows. And when I stripped it down, the bit inside looks different as well, but it's the same layout, but it all fitted together and works. So I've now got my electric reel back to working. Because on my old one, what had happened is the where it says up and down, them 2 buttons just disintegrated and come off. I have no idea why. And my son's is alright. It was playing up a little bit beforehand. But as normal, these things happen mid-job as well. So yeah, I was quite happy with that. And for the price, like I said, £7.99. And £22.50p. when I was looking before, and that's without their VAT and post and packaging on top. So I'll be getting another one of these, I think, ready on standby to change Matthew's one, or a spare for me. In a couple of months' time I might even get another one. Because that's the problem, when these things go wrong, you're down to the mercy of your supplier sending them out to you, and because I know they were closed over the Christmas break, potentially I could have lost days work there. But luckily for me, I was using my X-Line trolley, but it's hard work. But we did it. Yeah, fish tank heater. Heating equipment they have, yeah. Good thing is, it's a bit like a heated dog's kennel, isn't it, for us when in the doghouse? Just go and sit out in your van. Can of beer. Yeah, that's true, Nelly. Saying your tank's not going to freeze. It's mainly your pipes and the reels and the pump that you need to protect from the frost. Because the tank's that big lump of water. It takes a lot to freeze all that. But I think as well, that's why people use the tropical heaters, basically, so the tank becomes like a radiator, I'm guessing. Hi Francis, mate. Glad to see your van issues behind you. Cheers, mate. Thank you. I know all too well that you don't have a vehicle when you don't have a good vehicle to get behind. Most customers understanding, but sure remember the ones that don't. Yeah. I've had a few comments because I didn't tell my customers. They go, "Oh, nice new van." I'm like, "Oh, it's because of this." And they are generally gutted for you. It is nasty. I just hated not working and not knowing how things were going to pan out. And you're at the mercy of everyone, aren't you, trying to finance a van and all this stuff. And when they're slow at sorting things out, it's just costing you days, money. No worries, Jamie. Apologies for the seriousness, but if you were to start from scratch, what would you do differently? But me personally, I suppose everyone. Charge more. Have a better price, and I was way too underpriced. But it's a bit hard when you don't know any different. Don't know how long a job's going to take you. You know everything's going to take longer than what it would do if you had the experience. So you try and account for that. But yeah, being more confident to charge right is something I would have done differently. In terms of how I set the van up and work, I'm happy with all that. And I wish as well I started trying to concentrate building rounds from the start rather than taking on every work. I'd spread my web over a big distance because you need the money, because it's going to feed all the kids and that. But yeah, I wish I was a bit more, just kept everything more local. Luckily it's locally enough now, and like I said, the prices were better. What else? Bigger van. Nah. I also though think I found doing the really horrible jobs that everyone on the forums tell you to avoid were good doing, because they were a good learning curve as well. So I don't think I would have changed them, but it definitely would have looked more on the pricing. Which I'll come to in a bit actually. Try not to name any names. Alright, yeah, Marcus just saying his tank's fine. It's everything else that's already frozen. And I suppose the bits that are frozen, as long as the pump's not got the water in it, should be alright. You can put the hoses in a warm bath, that sort of thing. Nice one, Nelly. Yeah, he's just saying to you, Jamie, start moving somewhere hotter like Australia. But they've got bigger spiders to deal with there, haven't they, what we have here. Yeah, in terms of pricing, it's a hard one, isn't it? Because you look round, and I know some people are charging like high prices and they're throwing a lot of marketing at it. And then what they find is they're churning around the customers quickly, because I think customers are going for it, not happy, or they realise it's... Because at the end of the day, they're going to look at you and say you're on this much per hour. They're not going to think, of what comes out of that per hour as well for running your business, and the fact you've got to drive from one place to another as well. But they think that way, and then you lose them. Whereas if you're a bit cheaper, you get a customer, they stay with you longer, so you're not throwing more money at marketing, if that makes sense. So many different ways you can go about it, but I know I've looked at other people, their pricing, because you can go on websites, do their online quote, and then you can figure out roughly what they're charging for certain services. Like I go on some people and I put down like 3-bedroom house, and it spits out a price. Then you add one Velux window and it'll tell you how much, and you find out some of these ones, even though they're charging high for the windows, they'll be charging say like 50p for a Velux window. But I kind of get that as well, because most of the houses are going to clean, they're all going to have windows, so that's the bit you need to price high. The Velux windows, for example, they're not going to have tons all over the house, but like I've got a house that's got 9, so you take the hit on that because you're making the money on the window. So I kind of see the thought process, if you get what I mean. And then you also can suss out what people are charging for conservatories, so you just tick a conservatory and it spits out the price there. Most seem to be about £5 or £6, although I think you should be charging more. I should be, but it is what it is. But it is hard, and everyone's got different pricing methods. Like I like to price per window. That's how I've started, that's what I'm used to, so that's what I do. I know some people just look at it, eye it up, work out an estimate of time, how much they want to earn per hour, so they work it out that way. But then you need the experience to do that. That's why it's hard when I started. And then some people do it on house size, like 3-bedroom house, 4 or 5. And then have a little caveat saying, obviously, when they arrive, if they have to put it up more because it's got more windows than the average, say, 3-bedroom house, they'll adjust the price from the next screen going forward. But it wouldn't work where I am, because there's a lot of old homes that have had lots of extensions built in on, so there's, it wouldn't work doing it by house type where I am. So that's why I do it per window. And like I said to my wife, we just charge per window, and that gets us into a figure, and then if we feel it needs to be more, because I've got an instinct says it will add a couple of quid, and if it's not, we'll keep it the same. It's weird. There's so many different ways you can do this. But yeah, it's one thing I wish I got out to start with, is my pricing. And I didn't put my prices up, I suppose, 4 or 5 years. I've only done 2 price rises. One of them was last year, and I think one was 2 years before that. Sorry, just go back to the comments. Matt's just saying, yeah, it wouldn't change anything except do it 10 years earlier. And I know I had my military career, and then I did this when I got out. I do wish this is something I started like in my early 20s. And think like 20 years experience down the line to where you are now, how cool you'd have it. Jamie saying, don't get caught in nonsense stories about people making £500 between 9 and 1 p.m. Yeah, sorry Kev, you're right there, mate. No probs, Jamie. At the end of the day, I think everyone's different. Yeah, in outgoings, everyone's got different outgoings when you include, like, because you're doing a living, so it's your house, your mortgage, everything. Everyone's outgoings differently. Some of us have got like millions of kids. Some of us are lucky, they've got a lot less. So everyone's circumstances are different. So I've always would say to people, just do what you need to do. And I think it's a good thing every year tweak your window cleaning, because it's keeping your finger on the pulse. So you're making these slight small changes every year rather than realising you've got to do something big and drastic. And like I would say, like spending loads of money on marketing, and I haven't got money to do that. At the same time, the customers I've got have stuck with me for a long time. So they haven't cost me anything to get, because it's mainly word of mouth. And they're happy with what I do and my price, so they stay with you. So it's so many different ends of the scale you can go. But I'd much rather know what I'm earning every month that I can pretty much guarantee it, just except for the weather. But yeah, I was too cheap. I was £1 a window, £1 a door. That's the way I did it, thinking I'd be 2 minutes per door window cleaning, but you've got your packing up, putting away. It's an older type customer, you're going to have a chat with them, aren't you? And all that, and then driving between. Everything's trial and error. Everyone's different. And that's what me and my wife are saying about price. If we went with what other people are doing, I think we would lose a hell of a lot of customers. We'd rather know what we're getting, so a small price increase. I don't want to take the mick, but because I've, like I say, got the extra finance the van now every month, if I just did £1 per person, because I did talk to some of them saying I'll try and do it every 2 years, but I'll have to say I've had to do it this year because I've had to pay for a new van. But it would be nice if you feel your pricing's right to be able to some years not put the price up, if that makes sense. So you're helping your customer out because you feel that you're well priced, if that makes sense. It's not a nice feeling thinking about you've got to redo stuff, but sometimes you've just got to draw a line and do it. Sorry, Mark is saying anything I would have changed, I would have got a bigger van and skipped the employing ship staff bit and just built enough for me working solo. Yeah, when I was getting out of the military, there was a guy I was speaking to because he was coming near the end of his time as well, and he was going into building because that's what he did before he joined up, and he just told me a story about his dad. He had 50 people employed for him for decades, and when he retired he was whittling it down till eventually it was just himself, and he said he was on more money as a builder by himself doing less work than having tons of work and employing loads of staff. Kev's saying to you, Jamie, if you're good at one of your services, stick to it. I now do a few gutter repairs as well as gutter clearing and wish I had the confidence to have done it sooner. Yeah, I've had a go at some gutter repairs, but luckily it's when I first started and I didn't know what I was doing. But because they're an old lady and I didn't have millions of customers, I just felt it'd be nice if I just did it. But what you don't realise is I had to drive to a merchant to get stuff, get advice, drive back home to get a tool, drive back to hers to then do it. But I like doing what I've done, but that was at that point I said to my wife, no, I'm just clearing them, not fixing them. But if you watch Gav, Rayleigh Gutters, but he's called the Gutter Man now, yeah, on YouTube, but Rayleigh Gutters, he's got some good videos and it's really good to see the tools he's using, which would make life so much simpler compared to what I had, and how to drill the screws for the gutter brackets in rather than the nightmare I used to have. So it's interesting how people do it, and it's nice, isn't it, if you've done something like that for one of your customers who is asking you because they trust you. And then he's saying, my personal opinion is don't listen to Facebook. Prices are what you're happy with and keeping it fair for you and the customer. Remember, having a window cleaner is a luxury, not a necessity. I can't say it. Necessity. There we go. Which is true. So that's kind of like, if your price is low enough, people will keep you, won't they? If it's something they feel is a bit high but they've got to cut costs, you're probably more likely to get sacked off. But you don't want them too low that you're struggling. No worries, Jamie. As I said, silly questions, one you don't ask. We're not afraid to go off topic here. Just kind of chat and hang out, really. But like Matt said, I do wish I'd done it younger because I'd be better at pricing. I think everyone starts too low, especially if it's something that's all new. You don't know what you're doing really, do you? But you've just got the balls to put 2 feet in and just learn and go for it. And that's the best way to learn, really. Francis just saying gutter clearing and gutter repairs are a lucrative add-on. I now carry all joints and seals so I can do it there and then. Again, it's something you build up, isn't it, of know-how. I remember speaking to a not gas boiler, because we got oil here, so he's a boiler anyway, and he would say he'd order something because there's a part in it that he needs to replace and he'll charge us for that part. And then I was like, well, isn't that a bit silly because you've got other bits? And he went, no, they'll just always come in handy for something else. So he's built up a collection of parts, I suppose much like yourself, and you know what's handy to have in the van. So when something comes up, you're like, oh, I might have just got the thing for that. So nothing will be a waste, it's just knowing to keep hold of it, innit? I mean, luckily I often get asked from my older customers, like, sorry, the downpipes come down off the gut ring. Do you mind if you get your ladder? I'll give it. And I'm like, no, I'll just do it. And I know why they're asking me is because their wife won't let the old man go up there on ladders anymore. I'm like, don't worry about it. It's just when you go and do it, it turns out to be something you've got to fight with to put together. Yeah, has anyone else have you got any more questions, Jamie, you want to ask anyone? Everyone on here will help you out, like. And they'll be going off experience. Like we say, we know what we need to earn a day. Or you set your target, don't you? What's achievable and how do you achieve it? But like I suppose everyone in here would tell you is just have your running costs as low as possible, which is what I was working on till my van went tits. But if I can continue paying off some of the things I was, I'm going to be better off in a few months' time, and that will offset the cost of me van anyway. But in the meantime, I need to put my prices up in April. I'm only going £1 up, like I said, and that will be a big chunk, almost covering what I need for the finance of the new van. Plus, if I lower my outgoings as well, should have it okay. I think the ideal world, I've said to my wife, would be if you could have it so you just needed to work 3 weeks out of the month to hit what you need. And then the last week of the month is nothing but just pure extra profit. When you start factoring the weather, it doesn't matter if you lose a few days, you're kind of still all right. And obviously in the summer, you're more likely to get that monthly work a lot better than during the shitty period like now. I think that's the way I looked at it anyway. Just trying to figure out how to do it. I know I'd love to get another van somewhere along the lines for Matthew to get in there so that we have a better work-life balance. So if we both finished earlier than what we're doing, I think that cost would be worth it. But obviously I'd need to take on a couple more customers here and there. Well, more than a couple more, but not tons. So I could up his wage. I want him to be able to stand on his own 2 feet, really. It's kind of a reset, isn't it? But then it's just like someone else said, it's like having more staff, more headache, more kit problems. So you never really probably win. So let's go back on the comments. Said it was going to snow about 9. Just wonder if it's actually snowing outside now. Not fun walking a dog in this weather neither. Can't find the comment now. Oh, it's Alan, I don't know if you're still on it, Alan, but you said like 35% chance for snow for 9 p.m. Just wondered if it started for you yet. So it took me a while to look that through. Yeah, you'd know Nelly as well, wouldn't you? Because how many vans you got, mate? But it would be nice if I could get something I can afford for Matthew to get out on, getting his confidence up, and so we could both finish a bit earlier to make just a better work-life balance. No worries, Kev. Thanks, mate. Thanks for the pad holder. No worries, mate. Have a good day tomorrow, getting them trad done, and then admin. It's not a dirty word. Dawn's just saying best case scenario, 4-week holidays, 2 weeks bad weather, and 2 weeks for any illnesses. Yeah, and you're down to 10 months to earn your yearly wage. Yeah. Like I said, it's just trying to tweak things all the time, aren't they? But everything changes. Everything, prices going up, cost of living goes up. You've got to put your prices up. Always tweaking it. Trying to get your rounds a bit more compact, that sort of thing. It's a lot having a good housekeeping. I suppose that's a good thing about window cleaning, isn't it? You're trying to do everything, which is why it can be mad and busy, but you kind of know what's going on for you. Alan's just saying still nothing, still no snow. 5 fans Nelly's got. Wow. Plus you got your trailer, haven't you, for your pressure washing? And like when you're busy as well, someone's got to make sure these are maintained, haven't they? And not all need maintaining at the same time, I suppose. Yeah. I suppose like for everyone, it's identifying lessons that can be learned. So we're always learning and then trying things out, or how can I always trying to make a slight improvement somewhere. And like I said, work leads to work. I know one thing I want to try and do is I've been working on my website. I think I kind of knew this, but I saw it on one of Smout's lives where he had a guy called Russell in, like web designer, and he was talking about naming your images on your website properly. So rather than it saying image 007.jpg or whatever, or webp, whatever you want to do it, is to give it some form of name. So you could say Waterfed pole cleaning the glass from Crystal Clean Windows, for example, because that will actually rank your SEO better. And then on your website, each image has an alt tag, so it's for people who can't read very well, reading impaired. So they might have a screen reader that reads that out, so it will say it's an image of, and then again you could put down there a window being cleaned in, and you can name your area by, and then name your company. It's all these little tweaky things that cost nothing and are free to improve the way you rank up on the Google page. So if a lot of people haven't done that, you're going to bump ahead of them. So I'm currently going through my website trying to do all that. Again, always just tweak things. So you're going to get the snow later. It's now 90% at 10 p.m. Yeah, it's around midnight where I am. Endless troubles, every day something crops up. Yeah. It's what I've said to some of my customers. I mean, you can buy an old van, not pay any finance, for example, on it, but instead of finance, you're going to be paying bills to keep it repaired. And then if you buy a new van, you're not spending the money on getting it repaired, you're just spending it on the finance. So they all cost you one way or another. Also turn your GPS on when you're taking your phone, so it gets geotagged. Yep. As well as in the military, used to do the opposite, turn off the geotags so people couldn't work out where we were. Yeah, do the opposite of that. It's all these good little tips, really. I suppose that's the other thing. You can always look through YouTube, use AI to help you narrow your research down to then start searching yourself, rather than relying on AI completely into these things, and just tweak and change things and see how they go. I know I'd like this year, I'd like to get my van sign written. I'll ask for 2 quotes actually to have it wrapped or sign written, and it depends what's in the bank at the end of the day. But I suppose just get over one problem at a time. Problem is, while you got over one problem, 2 others come up. It's like my poor wife when she's driving the car up to Scotland to help Sophie to get her back for Christmas. The car broke down, so it's still in Scotland in the garage as we speak. The garages will be open hopefully, and then we just said to him, just slow time, have a look at it, because we've got to save up the money to pay it and then go and get it. You got to laugh. When it goes wrong, it's not spread out through the year, is it? It sort of like happens all at once. But at least once it's out of the way, you can think it's out of the way. Right, well, I think I'll call it a night soon. And I'll think of something to do for the live next week. I'll do them every week. That's what I'm going to go for. And use the comments if you've got any ideas or anything you want to talk about. And even if I'm doing a live and on the subject and you want to ask a question about something, just ask. Everyone in here just will help each other out. There's a lot of people on here, as you've seen, have been going like 35, 39 years. So they've seen it all, been through it all, and are still here. So yeah, just silly questions when you don't ask, just ask away. Cheers, thanks for tuning in, Dawn. It's alright, Jamie, mate. Like I say, everyone in here will ask if you see any people's comments you've seen from here, just send them a comment through YouTube as well, they'll get back to you. Cheers, Robbie, mate, thanks for joining in, and let's hope Ipswich keep going forward. No worries, Alan. I hope everyone gets to work tomorrow, and if it's too cold, then don't, stay in the warm and get on with admin. Like everyone said, it will pass. Right, that's it for me. Take care, guys. Oh, sorry, I got another message coming through in a minute. It's from Marcus. Cheers, Rob. Yep, no worries, mate. Be careful on the ice, yeah. At least the dog shite will be solid. Take care.